Hi everybody, Bernard here. Happy New Year. And after a whirlwind end to 2025 and seeing record prices and sales across all the recent launches, are you still feeling that FOMO effect? Don't worry, because today we are looking at the very first new launch of 2026, Narra Residences, located along Dairy Farm Walk. And in this video, I want to do something a little different. I'm going to cover why some buyers should seriously consider Narra Residences, why some buyers should not, the hidden pitfalls you need to be aware of, a comparison with nearby projects, especially Dairy Farm Residences, which has just TOP'd, and finally, whether the Dairy Farm area itself has any long-term upside. So, this is not a sales video, this is a decision-making video, and whether you're a buyer, an upgrader, or an investor looking for clarity, let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the basics. Narra Residences is a 99-year leasehold condo located along Dairy Farm Walk in District 23. It's a fairly sizable development with 540 units, offering a wide mix of 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to 5 bedroom family units. So the TOP is expected around 2030, and this is a longer holding horizon project. So the development positions itself very clearly around one theme: nature living. That's why it's called Narra Residences, right? So you're next to Dairy Farm Nature Park, Bukit Timah Nature Park, green buffers, low-rise surroundings, and of course, monkeys. Okay, so this is not a city fringe project. This is a lifestyle choice. And that distinction already tells us a lot about who this project is and who it isn't for. First, let's clear up a misconception. Despite what some marketing materials may suggest, Narra Residences is not near Hillview MRT. In reality, it's about an 18-minute walk. For me, maybe 25 lah. But if MRT convenience is critical for you, this is something that you need to be honest about upfront. That said, this area was never designed to be MRT-centric. So what Narra does offer is something increasingly rare. It is a predominantly private housing enclave with very little public housing nearby, and one of the few areas outside the city with a GCB enclave. So GCB neighborhoods tend to preserve a low density, operate under lower plot ratios like 1.4 and 2.1, which we are seeing in Narra Residences, and it protects a long-term neighborhood character. That translates, of course, into less overdevelopment, better spacing between projects, and stronger long-term livability. Okay, so let's look at the site plan. Narra is built across 3 rows of blocks, all north-south facing. The front row is only 6 stories high because it is facing the GCB enclave, and the second row around the 13 stories, and the third row at 16 stories. So the blocks are actually staggered, and the block-to-block distances go up very comfortably from 34 meters all the way up to 63 meters. However, the views are actually not evenly distributed. If you look at the site plan, stacks 24, 25, 29, 30, 31 and 32 are in more favorable positions. They are facing the lower blocks and enjoy the further spacing. Moreover, they are also overlooking the main pool, and these are likely to be the premium stacks. So for the last row, meaningful openness only starts above the 13th floor, and even then, future developments may still limit your views. So understanding this upfront can make the difference between a unit you are comfortable with in the long term and one that disappoints after it TOPs. Okay, so before we talk about pricing, we need to answer one key question. Does the Dairy Farm area itself have any long-term upside? If you are buying into this project, this is probably something you really want to know. Okay, so Dairy Farm is not a rapid transformation zone, and there is actually no mega catalyst that is coming overnight. Instead, this is a slow burn, steady evolution location. And the government planning here has been very restrained. They are looking at large green buffers, and they are undeveloped or low intensity land, and that actually controls that respected land and the GCB zone. This usually doesn't lead to explosive upside. However, it does actually support the long-term stability and value retention. Demand here comes mainly from families and long-term own-stay buyers, which tends to be less speculative and more resilient across different property cycles. Supply is also constrained, and new launches are infrequent, so you do not actually see developers selling large plots of land continuously, and large family-sized units remain structurally scarce. So the upside here is actually gradual, not dramatic, and that aligns very well with how Narra Residences is actually positioned. So before we move on, if you want clear, no-hype property analysis like this, hit like and subscribe. I don't just transact, I help you plan. Now, let's talk about pricing and whether Narra actually makes sense. Indicative starting prices show the one bedroom starting from 999k, sub 1 million, which is very rare in the market today. The two bedrooms in the high 1009 to low 2001 PSF range, and three bedrooms largely in the 1009 PSF. Four bedrooms starting from 2.4, very comfortable, and the five bedrooms from about 3.8. This pricing is actually market-aligned new launch pricing. It is not cheap, but it does not actually stretch you as a buyer. So what I like about the unit mix in Narra is that actually about 50% of Narra's units are 3-bedroom and above. So that tells us that this is not an investor-heavy project, but a very own-stay driven one. Even then, 4 and 5-bedroom units remain limited. Like what I mentioned, it creates scarcity within a family-centric development. So if we were to do a comparison against the developments nearby, a good comparison would actually be Dairy Farm Residences. Recently TOP'd, so let's look at the resale data. The 3 bedrooms made about 400k, 4 bedrooms made close to about 600k. However, the 2 bedrooms mostly stayed below 200k. And that you can see actually the larger units clearly outperform the smaller ones. So when we compare Narra versus Dairy Farm Residences, one main highlight is the harmonization rule. So why does this matter? Narra benefits from newer harmonization guidelines, which means there's less wasted space, fewer oversized balconies, more usable internal space, and this means that the layouts are actually more efficient and livable. So buyers should compare how layouts live, not just the size or the PSF. So if we were to take a layout comparison between Narra and Dairy Farm, let's look at the 3 bedrooms. The Narra 3-bedroom runs at about 872 square feet compared to a 915 pre-harmonized Dairy Farm. As you can see, despite it being smaller, Narra offers a proper dining area, something which is very important if you are looking at an own-stay long-term purchase. Even at 872, despite it also being a smaller size, it is actually able to carve out a flexi room. There's also better internal flow with the bedrooms being cascaded, shortening the corridor walkway as compared to the traditional layout in Dairy Farm, which has a more longer and efficient walkway. And this is where newer layouts live better, even at smaller sizes. So the layouts for Narra Residences have actually been confirmed and are also already released. So if you want a copy, do hit me up, lay a comment, and then I'll send the information over to you. However, there's something which I've seen in the layout which I feel is pretty weird lah. Okay, so if we look at the comparison between the 3-bedroom premium plus study versus the 4-bedroom compact, you'll notice that both the layouts are actually similar size at 1152 square feet. The 3 plus study prioritizes a larger master bedroom with a walk-in wardrobe, and it has a study instead of a full bedroom. The 4-bedroom compact with the same sizing sacrifices the walk-in wardrobe in the master to create a proper 4th bedroom. In a family-oriented enclave like Dairy Farm, this usually makes more sense. A 4th bedroom offers greater flexibility as your needs change, and buyers generally value an extra bedroom more than a study or wardrobe when you are looking at the resale market. And assuming pricing isn't materially different, the 4-bedroom compact, of course, is a more practical and future-proof choice. So who should consider Narra? Okay, we're looking at long-term own-stay buyers because of the family-centric enclave. You're looking also at first-time private buyers because of the comfortable entry pricing, families needing space in the OCR area who have a limited budget and looking for a bigger space housing needs, buyers who prefer stability over speculation, and those who value quiet nature and daily livability. Okay, then who should be careful if you are looking at Narra Residences? Really think carefully. Okay, people who are looking at short-term flippers buying to sell in the next 4 years, you really have to be careful because of the characteristics again of the area itself, family-centric, and you are not really having like that explosive retransformation, redevelopment in the short term. If you're only looking for small unit, investors, these are again, based on past data, historical at Dairy Farm. You are looking at yes profit, but it is not looking, that kind of 300,000-400,000 profits, which a lot of people would be expecting. And of course, buyers who need the MRT convenience or the urban bus. This is somewhere where it is really quiet nature. You're not going to get a club, shopping malls nearby and create that kind of energy. So I'll end off with this. Narra Residences isn't about chasing hype or timing the market perfectly. It's about understanding what you're buying, why you're buying it, and whether it fits your long-term plans and lifestyle. So if you are considering this launch and want a personalized buy versus don't buy opinion, feel free to reach out to me. I don't just transact, I help you plan. So if you found this breakdown useful, do give the video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you at the next video.